Episode 8 saw us enter the Hard-Tuned Cup, where the new Skyline absolutely dominated the competition and casually swept every single race on the calendar, only for Gran Turismo to award us with another Skyline. We definitely overestimated the upgrades required to make it competitive though, which you could argue continues into this episode as we're about to build a 900 plus horsepower monster of a GTO. The only upgrade I'm not giving it is the racing modification, so maybe the upgrade obsession is slightly spiralling out of control. Hopefully having to build an utter monster means we won't end up winning another mid-range saloon, because I genuinely don't think I could survive the emotional damage of yet another pointless pants prize car. So let's run that intro and line up on the grid. Thank you for calling Roadside Assistance. Please hold. All our operators are currently busy at the moment. Right, straight into the Megaspeed Cup it is. There's only 3 races and each race is only 2 laps. So it's a nice and quick and easy one this. Well, quick, not necessarily easy. I thought I'd show you a little bit of my car setup for this one. I'm not going to talk you through it. Just, I know I don't really exactly know what I'm doing. I just know that I wanted to stiffen some things, soften others, do a bit more brake balance. As for the gear ratios, I did actually use external help to get what I wanted, and a lot of also testing on the different tracks that there are. There's high speed ring forwards, then there's the test course, and then there is high speed ring backwards. So all nice and quick, but definitely need different gearing for the high speed ring and for the test course. So I had to play around with different setups in terms of gearing. The suspension setup was exactly the same for both. Also, using manual gears when you're trying to get as quick as possible really helps, because automatic does change gear far too early, so you don't get acceleration in the 5th and 6th gear. Anyway, heading into the race, me and the other GTO have immediately got a massive gap. The only reason why I've had to build a 900 horsepower monster is because the other GTO is a 900 horsepower monster. And thankfully, this time, it's a different colour, unlike the red Skyline to accompany my red Skyline in the last episode. Having a nice little battle here on lap 1. Like I said, there's only 2 laps, so you really have to get to the front and stay there early. There's no starting 6th and slowly clawing your way through the grid, because by the time you get there, race is over. Because even first lap is less than a minute. Even on the test course, on the old Gran Turismos, there it's really not that long at all. Opening lap is just over a minute, whereas by the time you get to Gran Turismo 4, it's very long. Heading into the little chicane type bit now. Got a little bit of a gap, which is nice. But like I said, he's got 900 plus horsepower as well, so any mistakes and he's going to come straight back past us. Heading up to the line. There we go, first race over already. And we're only 2 minutes in. because they're shorter, not as much prize money here, only 15,000 credits, but win is a win. There we go, a minute 2 for a qualifying lap. Only just pole there, look. Look at that. That really couldn't be much closer at all. 5 grand for pole position, that's a nice little bonus. Let's head into the race. Or not. Oh yeah, I wanted to also show you the gear changes that I made. I'd made so many gear changes and did so many laps in testing that I couldn't have shown you all of it, it would have taken too long. So I just did the final little tweaks that I made. Get off the line quite nicely. No, sorry, the other GTO gets off the line quite nicely. We've got slightly longer gearing, which is going to help us down the long back straight. Both the long straights. Taking the wide line. He's tapped the grass there, which is let us get past, but he could tuck into slipstream here and keep up with us quite nicely, but I don't think he actually gets into the slipstream at all. He's keeping up quite nicely. We're not running away with it at this point. Again, taking that wide line. I just don't want to risk hitting the grass on the inside, and also just because you're out wider, you're kind of turning less, so you're scrubbing off less speed. And I was reaching just shy of 400 kilometers an hour down those straights. I think the fastest I got was 397, which is ridiculously fast for a GTO. There we go. We've got a bit of a gap now. The flybys at this speed are ridiculous. Normally those cameras would take a lot longer than that to cycle through, but because we're doing nearly 400 kilometers an hour, it's a second. It's gone. But there we go. Race over already. Less than 2 minutes. Much bigger gap that time, and that Cosmo that finished 6th in the first race has got a lot of straight line speed. Managed to get a podium in this race. But that's another 15,000 credits for us. On to the final race already, and I did manage to remember to change my gearing back, which was good. And pole by a nice margin this time. That's another 5 grand to add to the kitty. Making sure to go manual again. Decent start off the line. GTO's following us closely. He has definitely been second best in this championship though, hasn't he? Maybe I could have got away with a few less horses, but hindsight is a wonderful thing. I guess this is a good chance to say that I don't know whether I did mention actually. I'm planning on doing all of the road car races first, then heading into all of the race car races. After this championship, there is only the endurance race left, that is the all-night 2 race. And then I will be straight into the race car races. And obviously finishing off with the endurance races, and then the final one will be the GT World Cup. So next episode will be the final road car race, and after that I might use the GTO again, but either way I'm definitely going to give it the race car modification because it's beautiful and it's very nostalgic for me because I used to use it quite a lot when I was a child. There we go, nice and easy win. There you go, that Cosmo is way back in last again. It can apparently only go fast in a straight line, like most BMW drivers. Now the 15,000 credits. 30 grand for the championship bonus. Just shy of 400 grand now. Okay, so we've got a new machine, of course. Let's go check out, see what it is. Really? What on earth is that? Oh, excellent. So, oh dear. It's not even a nice colour. We built a 900 horsepower GTO for that utter, total, fucking useless piece of utter shite. What the... Anywho, mini rant over. Let's run that championship again, shall we? Because I know full well that this is one of those championships that has multiple prize cards. You can either win that thing, or you can win something that is, emotionally at least, a hell of a lot better and a lot nicer. So let's go do it again. This time we've got a lovely Skyline that decides to kick off into the distance at the very start of each of the 3 races because it's got one hell of a launch on it. So I've decided to ram him into the wall on the last corner there. Alas, we continue through turn 1 into turn 2. You really tell I'm a little bit flustered with my braking point, my turning point, how I'm driving here. But we've got a nice little gap over the Skyline and the GTO. And we're already at the end of the first race. We're immediately cutting to the second. See what I mean about the utter ridiculous launch that that Skyline has. Beyond. And then it, for some reason, pops out really early and turns into me as I'm trying to go around it. So it's very competitive at a high speed ring, but then on the test course it's just rubbish because it pops out for something like 280 kilometers an hour, whereas I'm going all the way up to 400 kilometers. I'm still confused as to why the English PAL version of this uses kilometers an hour and not miles an hour. Probably because it's a collective European release rather than just an English release, but still. we use the correct term over here with miles an hour. Right, we are already on the second and final lap, heading down the back straight, miles ahead of the GTO. I think at this point the Skyline's down in 5th. Now that's a bit of a strange line to be taking on the entrance of the corner there, but I was just trying not to use the steering at all down that straight because you lose a lot of speed and a lot of time. Again, immediate cut to the next race, saves a bit of time. Skyline's gone again, but we've managed to duck under him into the first corner this time. He has fought back, I think. Oh, well, he would have fought back, but he decided to crash into a wall instead. Coming up to the penultimate corner already. My favourite camera angle on the game. Look, the Skyline's already back up into 2nd, so he is very competitive around here. We're already on to lap 2. We'll slide through there, turned out a bit too aggressively though and ended up in the wall. I'll still be slightly flustered at this point. Has allowed the Skyline to get right up behind us again. It's not a problem. We can hold on. Just 1.5 corners to go. Around the last corner now. A little bit of slide, but no issues. And across the line. Right, let's see what... Oh, really? That's better. An Aston Martin DB7 Coupe. It's actually a really nice colour. Aston Martins probably should be green, but that is a gorgeous shade of purple. Anyway, now that the rage is over, it's time to end this episode, and as I said, next time we will be heading out into the all-night race 2 around special stage route 11. So I shall see you in that one.